So are we ready? All right, good evening, everyone. I'm Chief Jeff Maddrey. I'm the Chief of Patrol for the NYPD. Here with me this evening is our Mayor, Eric Adams, the Queens South Borough Commander, Assistant Chief Williams, and the Commanding Officer of the 105th Precinct, Deputy Inspector Pinkasoff. This evening, at about 8 p.m., there was a crowd assembled on the corner of 214th Place and Jamaica Avenue. We believe they were out celebrating the holiday weekend, and at some point, a male pulls out a gun, displays it, and points it at the crowd. In the vicinity of the crowd was an off-duty New York City correction officer who saw the male pointing the gun at the crowd. He drew his own firearm, engaged the male, and fired shots at the male. The male, who's known to the department, who's 23 years old, was hit at least one time in the torso. During the gunshots being fired by our correction officer, he was also struck in the left leg, our correction officer, and he was removed to a local hospital. The male known to us, the 23-year-old male, was also removed to a local hospital, both of them with non-life-threatening injuries. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to the Commissioner of Corrections, Commissioner Molina.
Thank you, Chief Maddrey. So I just want to say I'm appreciative of the NYPD providing aid to our officer as he engaged these suspects. Our officer is in stable condition and recovering at a local hospital, and he's with his family. But we're grateful that he took his action and prepared to his training and was able to engage with these two individuals that were providing gun violence in our city.
Thank you, Commissioner and Chief, and all the officers who are here to do an investigation. I visited the officer in the hospital. He's a hero. Taking proper action while off duty is one of the most difficult things to do, and we are happy that he's not experiencing any life-threatening injuries. The common thread here that we continue to say as law enforcement personnel that respond to these shootings. Our initial person that drew the firearms, two open priors. One of them involves a robbery with a firearm. While on sentencing, he's back on the street with a firearm. This is a pattern that continues to play out across the landscape of our city. Too many bad people carrying guns and back on our streets without any repercussions for their actions. It is unimaginable that someone waiting sentencing for a gun that he admitted having is now out 6 months waiting to serve his time for a gun that he had in a robbery. Just think about that pattern. That pattern plays out over and over and over again. So no matter how much these officers remove 3,300 guns off our streets, no matter how often dangerous people are using these firearms, they're finding their way back on our streets to continue to wreak havoc on innocent people. We're going to do our job. But the courts and the other parts of the criminal justice system must do its job. Those who were arrested for having firearms, we need them off our streets as we enter the summer months. Let's sentence them. Let's prosecute them. Let's make sure that they're not able to come back on our streets. This is a perfect example of a failing criminal justice system that continues to produce the violence that we are experiencing. I thank God for the correction officer being able to go home to his family, his wife and his children. I spoke with his wife, I spoke with him, and he showed heroic actions tonight. And because of that, I believe he saved the lives of other innocent people in this community. Thank you. Any question on topic with this?
Hi, can you tell us for the
Well, right now that's still under investigation. We do believe that there was a gathering out here, but we don't know how it was connected to this incident.
Can you go over the timeline of what happened one more time? Just, I know you said that the original perpetrator pulled out a weapon and pointed it into the crowd.
Yes.
Do you know who he was aiming for? Or?
That's still under investigation. This investigation is still in its infancy stages.
Okay.
So we're still learning a lot about what happened out here. But as I said, about 8 o'clock this evening, there was a crowd out here. We believe they were enjoying the holiday weekend, and a male pulled out a gun and pointed at the crowd. And that's when our correction officer, our off-duty correction officer, engaged the male to save lives.
And who shot him in the leg?
That's still under investigation as well.
So it could have been a separate person, but you're not sure.
That I can't answer. Our detective squad is investigating everything. They're looking at video. They're canvassing for additional witnesses. If anybody does have any information, there were a lot of people out here, please call 1-212-577-TIPS. All information will remain confidential. A third person did come to the hospital shot, but we're still investigating the connection if he was here at this event.
And, sorry, where does the off-duty officer work at? Which facility?
He's a member of the New York City Department of Corrections. I don't know exactly which facility.
Anybody else?
Yeah, just in terms of standard police procedure, if there's a shooting in progress and there's a big crowd of people, is it training to then shoot at that gunman despite all of the people that are around? Just seems like risky.
Well, the primary goal of law enforcement is to protect lives. So our off-duty correction officer saw a threat, and he took action to stop that threat.
Thank you, everybody.